Alright, so on your worksheet, 1, 2, and 3, that's what we're going to look at. And we're going to use the relationships that we learned yesterday. So the 3 relationships were supplementary, complementary, and vertical. And you have an example of each one on 1, 2, and 3. So out of those 3, number 1 is what? Supplementary, complementary, or vertical? Supplementary, right. And number 2, they're wanting you to find angle 4 and angle 5. They're here. Are those 2 angles supplementary, complementary, or vertical? Out of those 3. Angle 4 and angle 5.
Complementary.
Complementary. And number 3, angle 6 and angle 7, are those supplementary, complementary, or vertical?
Both.
Vertical. 6 and 7 are vertical. Now, the reason we need to do that is for several reasons. Not the reason, several reasons. First, they want you to find the measure of each numbered angle and name the theorem that justifies your work. What we just did was name a theorem. Now we are identifying the relationship, but there's a theorem attached to each of these that states their relationship. So, supplementary means what? What does that mean? The 2 angles what?
Add up to 180.
Add up to 180. So they sum up to 180. Alright, complementary means what?
Sum of 90.
Sum of 90. And vertical means, do y'all remember what's true about the vertical angles? What's true about their measures?
Congruent.
They're congruent, right. So the measures are equal. So the reason we did that is so that we could name the theorem that's going to justify our work, but also it tells us exactly how to set up the problem. Okay? So if it says sum of 180, sum means what operation? To add. So that means we're going to take the 2 expressions and we're going to add them. And since it's supplementary, when I add them together, it should equal 180. Complementary, sum of 90. So that means that I'm going to do what operation? Add. And when I add these 2 together, it should equal what?
90.
90. And vertical, measures are equal. So instead of adding, these 2 expressions should just be equal to each other. So that tells me exactly how to set up my equation. I'm going to do what I just said, but put it in an equation. So, supplementary, sum of 180. Sum means to add. So I'm going to take the 2 expressions that represent the angles, and I'm going to add them together. So, measure of angle 1 is x plus 10, plus the measure of angle 2, which is 3x plus 18. And I added the 2 angles, sum of 180. So add the angles equals 180. That's how I set that up. Number 2, we said they're complementary. They have a sum of 90. So sum means add. So I'm going to take the first expression, add the second expression, and it's a sum of 90. So when I add the 2 together, it should equal 90. Bless you. That's how I set that one up. And then vertical, we just said the measures are the same. So that means the 2 expressions are equal. So I take the first expression and set it equal to, that's what I mean by set it equal to, just write an equal sign, the second expression. So those are your 3 situations. Either it's supplementary with the sum of 180, complementary with the sum of 90, or vertical where measures are equal. And you just set up your equation exactly like that relationship describes. Now, did I solve anything?
No.
No. So am I done?
No.
No. What I have to do is I have to solve the equation. That'll give me what x equals. And what they want is the measure of the angle. So once I find out what x equals, I substitute it into each expression and find the measure of the angle. So that's what you're going to do now. I'm going to give you about 5 minutes to work on it on your own. I'll come around and ask questions, and then I'll take volunteers to work it out up on the board, and we'll go from there.